last of the early afternoon games, I should say. The Bengals at the Ravens. The line open up Ravens -13. It's still 13. So Joe Burrow coming off his first win. Can he get a second win or at least stay close?
He's not going to win this one, but I do think he'll have it closer than people think, or he'll be in position to get a backdoor cover here. I did give him the nickname Backdoor-Burrow, so I kind of feel like I have to be on the backdoor cover possibility here. But my thing here is that the Ravens are favored by 13, which is what they were favored to start last week against Washington. And I think the Bengals are a much better team than Washington as it is. And I get it, this game's in Baltimore, so that is a little bit of a difference there. So they are getting some points for being the home favorite, but I still don't think the spread should be the same. And I know it moved a little bit as the week went on. It got up to as high as 14.5, I think. But I still think the Bengals are going to have a chance to get the cover here. Joe Burrow's 3-1 against the spread. He had that great backdoor cover for us against the Browns earlier. And, you know, I just think that they're going to be motivated to keep this one close because this is the toughest defense they're facing so far. And everyone is looking at the Ravens as one of the top teams in the AFC. The Bengals haven't really played a ton of great competition yet, and they did just get their first win. If they can keep it close enough with Baltimore, I think people will say, oh, the future's bright in Jacksonville. Also, it's worth noting that even though they let Lamar Jackson in his one start against them last year run for, I think it was 152 yards, and that like MVP highlight reel play of him just running up the middle of the Bengals defense and juking everyone for a touchdown, they still only lost that game by 6 points. So even if they allow a ton of yardage, if they play well enough in the red zone, I think they keep it close. So I'm going to be on Cincinnati here. I could see a case for Baltimore, and I'm not going to bet this super high, but I think 1 or 2 units on the Bengals is the way that I'm going to go.
Yeah, I remember that game. We needed Andy Dalton to get that backdoor cover, and he did. But then a few weeks later, Lamar Jackson like absolutely trashed the Bengals. I think it was like a 49-14 win or something like that. So like, I just think the Bengals match up so poorly against the Ravens. They have bad linebackers. So they're not going to be able to stop Lamar Jackson. They're missing Mike Daniels and Geno Atkins. Well, we assume. So we'll see if they play. But I know Daniels is on IR, so he's not coming back. We'll see what happens with Atkins. But if they're both out, they're going to have trouble against the run. And then last week they were missing 2 of their top corners. So like these are all things. These are all reasons why I like the Jaguars last week. And the Jaguars were winning in Cincinnati before they suffered all those injuries. And it's like I think it's fair to like question. Like how good these Bengals are, because like the Bengals are getting some hype, and you know I think people think that they're a mediocre team, but the past few weeks, like they played against the Eagles, who they tied that game, but the Eagles stink. They needed a backdoor against the Browns, and the Browns are obviously not as good as the Ravens are. The Ravens trashed the Browns in week 1. And then last week they were losing to the Jaguars before the Jaguars lost half their defense. So I just think I think this could be a blowout. I really do, because if the Bengals are missing all those players on defense, I just think the Ravens could score on every possession. But I think there is a chance that Joe Burrow backdoors this too. So like I would be concerned about betting this. This line's so high. I think this line. I actually think this line is right where it should be around. But I do think that because the line's so high, Joe Burrow might get the backdoor cover. So I'm going to be on the Ravens, but it's going to be a small bet if anything. But then again, if the Bengals get everyone back or everyone minus Mike Daniels, then I might switch my pick.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And I have one of my favorite things to do is the stupid way to use the transitive property in NFL betting. The Ravens beat the Browns by 32 points, and the Browns beat the Bengals by 5. So hypothetically, the Bengals should lose this game by 37. So if you're just looking for any reason to justify Ravens, even if it's not sound, there's one for you. But yeah, this game could I could see it going either way. Anytime I'm like torn on a game, I will go towards the double-digit line underdog, especially if they have a quarterback like Backdoor or Burrow on the team.
That's funny. It'd be a 37-point game. Oh, we'll see if that happens. I remember. I won't mention this guy's name, but he's a famous NFL broadcaster, and he used to handicap NFL games for a network. And he would use that logic like every week. Like it'd be week 3, and he would do the same math you just did, and like it never worked out for him. He was like not a good handicapper. So I would not suggest that, but it is funny how that works out.